This podcast has been generated entirely with artificial intelligence, including both the voices and the avatars. But what's really interesting is what it talks about: how artificial intelligence is changing the world of car design. Welcome to Art3 Studio, where we dive deep into how artificial intelligence is shaking up the car design scene. Let's kick things off by exploring this fascinating blend of tech and creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so the idea is that AI isn't here to replace human designers, but to enhance their creative process, correct?
Exactly. The whole concept is about collaboration. It's like AI steps in as a creative partner, giving designers the tools to generate multiple design directions rapidly.
Yeah. I find that really interesting, especially when you think about traditional design practices. It's almost as if designers get an extra set of eyes to explore possibilities, right?
Yeah, it's like having a brainstorming buddy that never runs out of ideas. It speeds up the process, letting more options come to life in less time.
Right. But there's still a strong emphasis on that human vision, isn't there? The narrative behind the design and emotional sensitivity. How does that fit in?
Absolutely. Even though AI can churn out various design candidates, the human element remains absolutely crucial. AI needs direction and context. Imagine it like this: if you give a painter a palette without knowing which brush to use, you'll get art, but maybe not soulful art.
Yeah, exactly. That makes complete sense, because without human input, things could feel quite mechanically bland.
Right, and speaking of input, there was that case with Lamborghini that we discussed. You remember how it was broken down into 4 distinct phases of design?
Yep, I do. Yeah, so they had a phase rooted in the current design language, then a nostalgic twist, a sharp aerodynamic concept, and finally a futuristic take. Each phase was driven by AI, yet guided by a clear design narrative.
Exactly, and it's a perfect illustration of how AI is not just a button you press and get a finished product. It's about defining the story behind the design choices.
Right. Just to drill into that a bit, would you say that without human narrative, the results could be too abstract or even, dare I say, cold?
Absolutely, and that's a point I want to dig into. Technically, AI could churn out a complete design on its own, but it would end up feeling quite soulless. The personality, the emotional connection, the distinct identity of a car comes from a human touch.
Yeah, exactly. I get that, but I've also seen some pushback on the idea that AI could eventually learn to simulate emotional design cues. Do you think that's a possibility down the road?
Well, it's tricky. Sure, AI might mimic certain patterns over time. However, truly capturing the human experience and emotion remains a challenge. It's like trying to bottle a feeling. You might capture the outline, but the essence often escapes a purely technical replication.
Right, that's a fair point. So in the end, the role of AI is more of an enabler rather than a replacement, allowing designers to experiment with ideas they might not have considered before.
Exactly. Well put. Think of AI as a supercharged brainstorming tool. It provides a wide array of possibilities, like having a whole library of design inspirations, and it's up to the human designer to select, refine, and give that design its soul.
Absolutely, yeah. And I suppose this method also streamlines workflows, right? Because instead of starting from a blank canvas, designers can iterate based on the AI-generated concepts.
Exactly. It's really about accelerating the creative process. Designers can rapidly test different narratives in design phases, like the Lamborghini project did, and then narrow down their focus on what resonates the most.
Yeah, exactly. But here's a question I have. Could this reliance on AI potentially numb a designer's creative intuition over time? Like, if you lean on AI too much, is there a risk of losing that raw human creativity?
That's a respectful challenge and a good one. I'd say it's about balance. Designers need to maintain their personal vision. AI is just a tool, almost like using a turbocharged sketchpad or a creative amplifier. You still need to write the music, so to speak.
Right, that analogy really fits. Absolutely, it's like the car's engine. AI can boost performance, but you still need the driver at the wheel to steer it in the right direction.
Exactly, and that's what makes this collaboration so exciting. It's not a battle between man and machine, but a dance, really. Both bring something essential to the table.
Yeah, that's a neat way to put it. Can we talk about the workflow details a bit more? How do these AI tools actually fit into the typical car design process?
Sure, so typically, the process starts with setting a clear style and vision. Designers provide a narrative, think of it like a mood board or a story, and then the AI generates multiple concepts along that narrative. Everything from the silhouette to minute details like aerodynamics and aesthetics can be iterated on.
Right. And then designers can pick elements from those variations, mash them together, and refine until they hit that sweet spot of innovation and emotion?
Yeah, exactly. It's iterative. The AI throws ideas out there, and designers take those, refine them, and push them further into something that not only looks great, but also carries the brand's identity and soul.
Absolutely. Really cool. It's like a creative feedback loop, where each iteration builds upon the last. But what about the challenges? Are there any pitfalls we should be aware of?
Oh, there are challenges. For one, ensuring that the AI-generated outputs are aligned with realistic production constraints is key. You don't want a design that looks fantastic on paper but is impossible to manufacture.
Right, practicality is still paramount. And I guess another challenge might be the learning curve for designers to efficiently use these AI tools.
Definitely, there is always a time investment in getting used to any new technology. But once designers master it, they find a vast space for creative freedom.
Exactly, yeah. So, the takeaway is that AI is like a co-author in the creative process, not the sole driver of innovation.
Yes, exactly. It nurtures creativity rather than dictating it. AI can propose, but it's the designer's vision that truly defines the output.
Yep, true. And that gets us to the heart of the discussion. Should AI play a central role in car design? How do you feel about that?
Oh, it definitely plays a central role, not as the creative originator, but as a partner. It democratizes design by providing designers with a vast playground of ideas. The future car is essentially a fusion of human emotion and AI-driven possibilities.
Right, exactly. I can see it now. Cars that not only perform spectacularly, but also carry a distinct personality crafted through this unique collaboration.
Yeah, it's a revolution. And remember, this transformation isn't about sidelining human creativity. It's about elevating it to new heights with AI as the creative catalyst.
Absolutely. As we wrap up, what final thought do you have about the future of AI in car design?
Well, I'd say creativity is no longer just human. It's a collaboration, a dynamic interplay between human passion and algorithmic exploration. The automotive world is only beginning to see what this fusion
truly
can
exciting
achieve,
stuff.
and the possibilities are endless.
This conversation really opens up a whole new perspective on design and a future that's as visionary as it is practical. Thanks for an engaging chat.
Thank you for tuning in. And listeners, we'd love to hear your thoughts on AI's role in car design. Does it inspire you or raise concerns? Leave a comment and subscribe if you enjoy this creative journey into the future.